Hey there, welcome back. I incorrectly said in my last video that my next stuff would be Hero Escape stuff, which I will have more of. But I forgot that I had my November games played ranking to do. And then I also want to do, well, I would have done December, but I didn't play any games in December, unfortunately. But then I want to do just a list of the games that I most played in 2025, which I don't know if I did a top 10 or 20. I did something like that. But I want to do that and then hit Hero Escape's 2025 releases. And I even ranked the different characters per set, so I'll do that eventually as well. But let me get into November. So this was a big month. It is my birthday month. It's always one of the biggest months of the year for me because we kind of just dedicate it to doing whatever I feel like doing, which is usually games. So I have 17 games ranking for this month. So starting at the bottom, number 17, we have Lost Cities Rivals, which is a spin-off of the two-player card game. And this one has like bidding and it can go to more players. I was pretty excited for this. I got it pretty cheap on Amazon and I found out why it is awful. It should not have been made, in my opinion. Granted, it could certainly be better with 4 players, but I didn't like any of the different stuff that it tried at all. And the regular Lost Cities is one of my favorite games. It's a 2-player head-to-head, I guess, set collection kind of thing, and it's a lot of fun. And this one was not. All right, so number 16 is another little game called Pact. I played this solo, and this is probably better, again, played with more people. And I did miss a major rule that would have won me the game because I didn't win. I was like, I think 3 points behind winning or something. But I found out that I missed a rule and would have won. But I didn't enjoy it anyway. Kind of a negotiation where you're like recipe fulfillment almost with the people to your left or right or whoever. And I thought it was fine. It didn't do anything for me. And then number 15 is this Epic card game. This is one I've been trying to get played for a long time. It is a really tiny tuck box game that has a bazillion expansions, which is part of why I was interested in it anyway. And it's kind of like trying to be a TCG, I think, without being one. I'm sure that there's a genre for that. And without playing really any TCGs, I feel like I'd rather just play a TCG. The other games I have that are kind of like that are like a 2-player head-to-head battle, I like them all better, and they're kind of contained in one regular box. So I thought it was fine. I wouldn't not play it if somebody wanted to play, but nothing that I was dying to play. And number 14 is probably the most mass market game ever to exist. It's Uno. We played this with Katie's aunt 11 times in one sitting. I don't think that we would have normally wanted to do that, but sometimes it is what people like to do. And her aunt did not want to finish playing until she won one. So Katie and I took the first 10. So at least I can take some pride in that. Number 13 is a little 2-player game called Draco. And it kind of reminds me of Unmatched. I think it's older, maybe mid 2010s or earlier, maybe. And it kind of feels like a more family version or kid version of that game. But it had some good challenges in it. And the card play feels a little easier than Unmatched, but similar in a lot of ways. And there's one plays a dragon and one player plays this team of dwarves. And man, I think it's interesting. I feel like that's a good starting game. Not super easy, but maybe like that next level up for someone young. Yeah, I kept it, so I still have it, and it was our first time playing. So number 12, Eminent Domain Microcosm. I hope I'm saying that right. But that is another little tuck box game, one that I've had for a while. I got it in a trade at one of our conventions here some time ago, And I like another little tiny Eminent Domain game called Battle Cruisers. It's not a tuck box, but it's still a little tiny two-piece box. And I liked this one too. It took me like to the end of the game to kind of wrap my head around it, but I thought it wasn't bad. For that little amount of cards, I thought it was a neat little game. Um, Probably a good travel game just because it's in a tuck box. That I don't really like tuck boxes just because they get destroyed almost immediately. And then number 11, Dodo's Riding Dinos. We played this once for my birthday party, but one of my attendees had already played it and did not like it very much, and it seemed to have a negative impact on the day, I guess. And I was really trying to enjoy it, and I feel like everybody else kind of brought me down a little bit. Just a silly party racing game, kind of gave me a Mario Kart feel, and nobody was really trying either. It was kind of a dud of a gameplay experience, but it was my first time playing it, and I thought it was fun, or it had, silly fun. It's not something I think that you take super seriously, but you can still have fun with it. And that kind of brings me up to my next game too. This is Camel Up number 10. And it's the same thing, same day. I had a lot of people, so I was playing games that were a little higher player count. And I hadn't played it before, and I was excited to play this. And similar kind of thing, almost exactly the same, but I think this is maybe a tad less silly. There's also no dexterity in it, so I liked it, but I didn't really get as good of a feel for it as I would have liked based on the particular play that we had. And then number 9 is Kabuki Tricks. We played this one twice, and we played it, I think, just Katie and I, and then we played it with, I think, Caleb, and so we played it, I think, at the beginning of the month and then at the end of the month somewhere. And this is one that I think just got recently reprinted by 25th Century Games here, and I'd gotten it from Kickstarter in the last couple months or so. And it was our first time playing it when Katie and I played, and I thought that it was interesting. It didn't really blow me away, but I didn't dislike it. I still have it for now. So the 3-player game I thought was a little stronger too. So, and then number 8, I have Alinthia. This is another Kickstarter game. I think I got it a year or two ago, and it probably is primarily a co-op. We played competitive, just Katie and I. And as the game went on, I started to like it more. There were a couple things I really wasn't sure how balanced they were, or like strategically, like how worthwhile it was to do some strategies over others. But I thoroughly enjoyed it and thought that it was different and interesting enough that I would like to explore it. Even if it was unbalanced, I probably would like it anyway, because I think you could still try to do better at whatever the winning strategy is than others. So cool game to try. Number 7, I'm losing my voice. Monumental. This is a 4X deck builder that I'd gotten on Amazon pretty cheap, I think last year sometime. And I like deck builders and I like 4X games, and it's like Civ themed, so I thought it would be right up my alley. And I liked it. I didn't know how I'd feel. I knew Katie wouldn't like it. We played head to head, and she doesn't necessarily like deck builders most of the time. And 4X games there's some outliers, but not always her thing either. And she really didn't like it, but I was very intrigued. I thought the deck building in this was maybe the most different of any deck builder I've played, because it was a grid, and you can only use that grid of cards, like that column and that row, for that round, and your cards in your hand change, and you put them into the grid, and then you decide which ones to use. But the ones you use go away. So I thought it was very interesting. The board kind of seemed very secondary, which is probably why they've made like a couple of dual versions now, but I thought it was really intriguing as it is. And it was worth, I think we played a couple hours. It was probably worth whatever I spent. And then number 6, this is one of my favorite games ever. It's a trick-taking game called Skull King. And to be honest with you, at the time of this video, I don't remember particularly this play, but when I ranked it, a month ago, I did, and I always liked this game, but it's still only number 6. I have played this to death at this point. We've run out of scorecards probably twice over. I don't know. Still really like it, and I honestly can't remember it off the top of my head right now, but maybe Katie will remind me, and I will re-comment, or she'll comment or something. Number 5, Night of the Ninja. This is a social deduction-ish kind of party game that you play in teams. I played this with my family for a different day on my birthday, and it was a lot of fun. I haven't played this one in a while. It was one I had pre-ordered back before it came out, and they really enjoyed it. It was a good game. It was one of the best plays I had of the month for sure. I mean, obviously I rated it high, but it was one that was kind of nice to come back to that I hadn't played in a while, and I felt like, despite playing it before, it still feels really balanced with people that were new and don't even necessarily play a lot of games. And that leads me up to number 4, Junk Drawer. We played this twice. We played this, I think, also with Katie's aunt, and we were introducing it to her. And I always have a good time with this. This is another one of my games that I really like. It's rated really highly for me, and it's about organizing 4 grids at the same time, but you can only do one of those grids per round. So there's 4 of them. If you place it in the top left grid, you can't place it in that one for the rest of the round. You have to fill them up. So that 4th one that you do, the last one of the round, you have to play in, and it provides a lot of tension, and it's a lot of fun. And that's really where where the game shines, I think, is that's where your aha moment is, like, oh, it got me. Always fun. Always really like that. And this leads me to number 3, another trick-taking game. This is called Bargain Hunter. I actually got this from our local community leader, I guess, the Gaming Caravan, and I had used some credit and got it. It's a little older. It is a Uwe Rosenberg game, I think one of his first, and it's a bit clunky, and the production quality is not nearly as good, probably because it's from almost 30 years ago, I guess, 20, 30 years ago. I think it was like 98, so a while. But it was really cool. I thought it was really interesting, and it took us most of the game, I think, to get the hang of the strategy. You're trying to get matches of, or multiples of, certain numbers, so kind of like a set collection, but you were trying to put them in your bargain pile, meaning that, and the numbers are based on appliances, so you're trying to get bargains on these different appliances from garage sales, I guess. And so the theme is kind of loose, but it's really, I thought it was really intriguing, and it's old. So to see something old and still unique that I haven't really seen happen too much now, I thought it was certainly worthwhile. I feel like it's an underrated one for sure. One that I recently played that reminded me of it was Trickety. It's about birds, but it has kind of a set collection to it, but it's very different. But that's the only other one that I think that I've thought of like that, and it's so very different that I really liked it. But yeah, and then number 2, this is another Kickstarter that I'd had that I was trying to play for a while. A Wayfarer's Tale: The Journey Begins. Now, they were a print and play game years ago that I had been really interested in, but I had backed one print and play and then looked at it and looked at free ones online and was like, oh, I'm never going to do that. There's so many printed ones that I was never going to do it, but I was really interested in it. And then he finally, he did a printed, round of production on it, and I think upgraded some things. I'm not exactly sure what changed, but it's been pretty cool. So we tried it, and it's a kind of a heavy roll and write. Not heavy, but like a long one. So it takes a little while. You're trying to make a path to all the different cities on, I guess, in this country or this continent or this island or whatever it is. And you have to use certain, I guess, workers. There's like 4 or 5 on your little board, and it feels really interesting. I guess it's kind of playing yourself, but when you roll dice, only one of the ones you roll you get to keep, and nobody else gets to use it. Which I guess is where the play together kind of comes in. But certainly play it on your own and just try to get the highest score, I guess. But it's a really cool roll and write. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then number 1, this is, as you'd expect, HeroScape. We played 5 times, but I specifically am highlighting the reason that I have it first, because not that the other ones were bad, but the one play of it that makes me want to rate it so high. Katie and I were doing the first scenario in Rise of the Valkyrie, which is the original one, with the original map with the old characters, which I haven't really used in a while, and we followed the scenario rules, which I've never done a scenario, and it was just epic. We were trying to do this video for it, which I mentioned a few times. We were doing like a stop motion thing, and we got pretty far on it before we lost our progress and just decided to cut it. But I had a really good time, and we were taking photos every like couple seconds to do this stop motion thing, which was really tedious and a lot of work, and I still had a really good time. It was probably one of my favorite, maybe my favorite gaming moment last year. Maybe the whole year, I don't know. I had a really good time doing it. I enjoy making videos to some extent, and I guess we were making one and playing one of my favorite games. Sure, but doing something new within my favorite game, I guess, and it just going so well. Sometimes HeroScape can be really one-sided, and that one was not. So really one of the best rounds I think that I've ever had of it. It was so close too. And like all the individual player powers, kind of, the 20-sided die powers all seem to have happened and been interesting. So that was November. Like I said, no December, and I already have January set up, but I'm going to do some other videos before I do that now that it's February. But by the end of February, I'm hoping to have been done with that and uploaded it. But this video is way too long as it is, so see you in the next one.